Okay then, so I guess we'll begin. Okay, so welcome everyone. This webinar is all about getting more customers using Google. Now, I'm going to be going through some actionable steps you can be taking to increase your online exposure and get more customers online via Google. So to start off with, just a quick intro about who I am. My name is Martin Krivosija. I'm an online marketing consultant with Quoshift. Quoshift.com is our website. Excuse my voice, I just did a presentation earlier, lost it a bit, but I specialize in search engine optimization. Now, we'll be talking more about this soon. I'm also currently a law student at Deakin University in Burwood, which is based in Victoria. And as a quick note, I've run multiple marketing campaigns. I've had hundreds of thousands of people visiting the target site within the space of a few hours. So we're going to be talking about website optimization. Now, website optimization is known as the holy grail of free advertising. It's a key area. It's a key area of online marketing, and we'll be discussing what you need to do in order to rank your website higher in the Google rankings. Higher rankings generally means more customers. Now, got to note that in today's marketplace, website optimization is not optional. If you're not doing, you're actually being left behind. Now, I'll just quickly show you what I mean by organic Google rankings. When someone goes to Google and types in landscaping Melbourne, the whole heap of results that show up. Now, these first 4 results are actually ads, as you can see by this little button here. It shows it's paid ad. Now, if you scroll further down, these are what are called Google My Business listings. Now, we'll be talking about these a little bit later on. These are free listings. If you scroll slightly further down, this is what you'd call the organic Google search rankings. Now, number 1 is this supremegreen.com.au. They're number 1 for the organic Google search rankings, and they're actually paying nothing to be there. Now, for this particular keyword, I believe there's about 2,000 people searching for it per month, and they'd be receiving about 40% of those clicks. So imagine how many customers that could translate into for your business. There are 10 organic rankings for each page, and then another 3 paid ads below that. Note that Google used to actually place ads on this side here, but has since moved them across. And also, ads used to have a dark yellow background, which has now been changed to this little button here. You'll notice that it actually makes it look more like an organic listing and less like a paid listing. That's something to note. So what is search optimization? At its core, it's all about getting more visitors to your website. More visitors means more customers. SEO aims to get your website ranked higher in Google search results. Now, there's a few different, well, there's actually hundreds of different ranking factors that Google takes into account to rank your website. SEO is all about using those factors to your advantage in an ethical way to make sure your website shows up higher for search terms that your customers are searching for. As I said before, higher rankings translates to more visitors, which translates to more customers, and you know what that means. So SEO is based on keywords. Keywords are usually a word or a phrase of words, generally a phrase or a couple of words that you put together that people are searching for. Note, like I said, there are usually more than one word, despite the name being keyword. The example on this slide is travel agent Melbourne, which is actually a keyword. And this is something that someone might actually be typing into Google. Behind every keyword, this is important, is an intention. Whether that is to find more information or to buy something, the searcher wants to do something. What you need to be doing is providing a solution to the searcher. When they're looking for something, provide that solution. Google knows when you're providing value to the user and ranks you higher according to that. We'll be talking about this in a second. As I touched on briefly when I was in the Google rankings page, the top 5 results get 75% of the clicks. So say 1,000 people search for a landscaper in Melbourne every month, the top 5 results will get 750 of those clicks. A similar formula is on the slide. 75% of 880 is 660. That's 660% potential customers being divided up into the top 5 results for that search term. It's pretty obvious what the benefits are here. Now I'll just take a quick break and I'll just answer any questions that you might have. Okay, so it looks like no questions so far, so we'll keep going. Now, on the screen here is a basic Excel spreadsheet that I've set up. Now, the reason I've set this up is actually to show the benefits of SEO in monetary terms. So on the left-hand side over here, oops, we have a set of keywords. Now, each keyword on Google has an average monthly search volume. So it's on average, how many people are searching for that term per month in your local area. Now, when I showed you the paid ads on the Google rankings previously, people are paying for those advertising spaces. Each time someone clicks on that ad, the advertiser will be paying Google. Cost per click depends on the competition for the keyword, but it can range from 50 cents up to $50. Now, I provided an example of a pretty typical set of keywords. Average monthly searches is something you could expect for a very local business, say a dentist in Vermont or a dentist in Burwood, for example. This is something you could expect in terms of average monthly searches. Now, dentistry is actually quite an expensive industry for its customers. So dentists can actually be paying quite a bit per click to get clients. That's reflected in this cost per click column here. Now, these are pretty typical, $13 ranging to $6 to $11 to $27. This is pretty typical for most service industries. So the value here is a monetary value of how much those visitors are worth. So we're getting 110 visitors per month, and a cost per click for that visitor to click on your ad, the total value is $1,515. So now moving on to the right-hand side, what we've done here in the first row is the total searches per month. So we've just added all of average monthly searches and put it into that column. Further down, we've got the traffic capture percentage, which is basically what we're assuming we'll get, what percentage of clicks we will get, basically. So for our first page ranking, you can expect between 2% and 37%. Now, I've actually seen about 20 to 25% click-through rate. So we've picked something conservative here and selected 17%. This traffic per month row is basically calculated from these two numbers here. So based on this, we'd get 134 people per month. Further down, we've got the lead conversion row. and we've set that at 10%. So a conversion is when someone calls you for your service or comes in or basically converts as a customer. No, sorry, as a lead. So when you get a phone call, that's a lead. You'll then convert them into a customer. But firstly, we had to convert from the website visitor to a lead. So they needed to call you. Now we've set that at 10%. So 1 in 10 people that visit your website would give you a phone call. Now, using that formula, we'd get 13.4 leads. So say 13 leads per month based on just these keywords. At a 50% client conversion rate, so say 2 people call you and you get one of those on as a client. That means you get 6.7 new clients per month. So let's just say 6 clients per month from these keywords. Now, the next column will actually, the next row, sorry, will actually depend on your specific industry. You have to think about how much a customer is worth to you over their lifetime. So obviously, a dentist may differ depending on what service they require, as with most businesses. But think about an average long-term value. I'm going to say about $1,000 would be fair. So we'd be getting about $1,000 per new customer that we acquire. Okay. Following on from this, you can start to imagine 6 clients times $1,000. That's $6,000 a month extra that you'd be making just by being on the first page for some of these keywords. So probably we come to the most important part. It's all well and good, but what can you do to get yourself up there on the first page? Well, like I said before, there are literally hundreds of things you can do. Some are trivial, others are quite complicated, and generally best left for someone that knows what they're doing. But as with anything, sometimes the simple things are the most effective, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you. The point of this is to get you to go off after this and implement most of these things, and they're all doable. So just before we start, there's one critical thing that you need to keep in mind. Google is a business. They're all about providing value to their searchers to keep them coming back. You need to be solving your user's problem. When someone searches for a dentist in Melbourne, they are hoping to find one. If they need information on dental implants, they hope to find useful information on that. You need to make sure that you're providing value. Google will notice that you're providing value and rank you better for it. Just keep that in mind. So here are 5 things that you can be doing today. This is one of the most important steps. You need to write some content. It doesn't have to be a thesis. It doesn't have to be 10,000 words long. Sometimes the more concise, the better. Think about your target customer and what they might want. Then write about it. Provide some useful information. Post it on your website. Like I said, I told you these steps would be actionable. If you want to be getting more customers online, start writing more content. There are many reasons why writing content is so powerful. It acts as a link bait, helping you gain links from other websites, and ultimately helps your user, which Google loves. It also establishes you as an authority, building credibility and trust. So on to number 2, social media. This is a big one, and it just keeps growing. I want you to sign up for any relevant social media sites. And by relevant, I mean any sites that your target customers are on. If you're selling to consumers, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+, YouTube are great. If you're business to business, make sure that you're also on LinkedIn. No matter what business you're in, you should have a Facebook, Twitter, and Google+ account. Social media is great as it creates free backlinks back to your website. You should all be trying to find a way to use Instagram and YouTube. Now, this does depend on the industry, but it is applicable to most. As a dentist, post before and after photos on Instagram. Create YouTube videos answering common questions. If you're a landscaper, post photos of your resulting landscapes. Post DIY videos on how you can do certain simple things. Don't worry, showing people how they can do some things themselves will not stop them from calling you. The main thing with Instagram and YouTube, or any other visual social media is being creative. Post things that your target audience will want to see. You need to get attention. Make sure to always include a link back to your website on every video or post. Social content. See, step 1 and 2 actually interrelate. Every time you put a piece of content on your website, make sure you post about it on all your social media accounts, all of them. If you're using Facebook, Twitter, or similar, include a popular hashtag or two, and make sure to link your website every time. Now, as you can see here, this is actually one of my own Twitter posts. It's QuoShift, and we wrote an article about SSL, which is a website encryption key certificate that you add to your website to make sure your website's secure. So I've put a little caption. You should use SSL. There are a range of benefits from it. Most importantly is the ranking boost. I've then included 2 popular hashtags that people will be searching for. And finally, a link to my website. Now, as you can see here, I've used buff.ly, which is actually a link shortener from buffer.com. It makes your links shorter, which is especially important for Twitter, where you've got a 140 character limit. Step 3. This is another thing every business owner should do that is 100% free. Register on Google My Business. You can find the page by doing a quick Google search for Google My Business. Signing up for this has a range of benefits, but the main one is that you get to show up on the Google Places map. This also integrates with Google Maps. Now, I can imagine most of you have searched for a cafe near you or the local supermarket or service station on Google Maps, and they've come up. By registering on Google My Business, you'll make sure that your business shows up on Google Maps. Signing up also shows more information about your business when people search for you. If you don't want to show your business address, just tick the option to hide it, and instead it will show the areas that you service. This is actually very useful. This is just a quick example of a Google search for a company called Savvy Brides. They're obviously registered on Google My Business, as a lot of information is actually showing up. You can see there's some photos, a map location, opening hours, as well as a link to a call button and their website. This is extremely powerful and good for their rankings as well. So on to number 4. You need to be using Google Analytics. It's free and extremely powerful. It tracks your website traffic and lets you know exactly where your visitors are coming from, what they're doing, and how they're interacting with your website. It's the most popular web analytics tool on the internet, and that's for good reason. Understanding how your visitors use your site is critical in knowing how to make sure they're converting into customers. At the bottom here, you can see a basic graph of sessions per day. This is just a basic Google Analytics report that shows you how many visits your website has had each day. So there's 3 things I want to talk about here in terms of Google Analytics: acquisition, flow, and audience. These things are very important, and you can get insights into all 3 using Google Analytics. Acquisition is all about how you got the visitors and where they came from. You can also know exactly which website they came from, or if they type your domain name directly into the browser. User flow is all about knowing what your users are doing on your website. Google Analytics will show a flowchart of which users go where and where they leave. This is actually really important to see where you're losing visitors. If for some reason you're losing your visitors on your contact page, and you're not actually getting a contact request, it shows that there's something wrong with your conversion rate for your contact request page. That means you can work on it. Audience is all about knowing who your audience is. Sometimes you can know their interests, approximate age, as well as their location. You can also know what device they've visited your site on. It's all powerful information. Now on the slide is just a quick example of some reports showing the age of visitors. As you can see, there's just below 30% of visitors were between 25 and 34. Above, maybe 33% was 35 to 44. So we've got a sort of a middle-aged audience for this website. There's also gender graphs here available as well. And number 5. This is pretty important, especially if you're serious about getting more customers from Google. Chances are your competitors are having a consultant optimizing their site year-round. I would suggest that your website gets an audit done every year. They can range in cost from $100 up to a couple of thousand, but in the next slide, I'll just be quickly showing you how you can get one for free. An audit lets you know specific things that your website is lacking or doing so you can easily fix them. They give you insights into critical details of what keywords you should be targeting, what titles to use, whether you're tagging images correctly, etc. This can be all pretty daunting for a novice, but a good auditor will make it easily understandable and easily fixable as well. Nowadays, a website is a business shop front. Making sure it's properly optimized to get customers is critical. So just before I mentioned about a free website audit, that's right. Because you attended this webinar, I can help you understand what your website is doing right or wrong. I'll tell you some exact things that need to be done or changed in order to have your website better optimized to rank highly on Google. I'd usually charge about $600 for this audit, but you can have one absolutely free. I'll give you a report as well as a rundown over the phone or in person where you can ask me questions specific to your website. Like I said, it's a $600 audit, absolutely free. And again, it'll be completely tailored to your website. So if there are any questions, make sure to hit the question and answer button and submit them, and I'll answer them. I'll be here to be answering those questions for the next 5 or 10 minutes or so. So thank you. So Mac Black has just asked a really good question. How many keywords should you have? Now, the amount of keywords will differ depending on the industry, but generally I'd recommend between 5 and 10. Now, keywords, they're not just random keywords you'll just pick from your brain. One thing I'd recommend doing is going to the Google AdWords Keyword Planner. So I'll just go over there now. I'll just share my screen and I'll explain. So if you just go to Google, type in AdWords Keyword Planner, and click on the first one. This is a tool that Google provides that is actually very useful in selecting keywords. Now, keywords need to be something that people are actually searching for. That's the whole reason behind them. And ultimately, they need to be keywords that are relate to your website. So if I just go over here, search for any keywords using a phrase, website, or category, and type in landscaping Melbourne. But get ideas. And once this loads, you'll get a whole heap of keywords. So as you can see here, landscape design Melbourne. There's 1,280 people searching for that every month. That would be within Melbourne. Cost per click would be $385 if you're doing paid advertising. Now, in terms of how many, like I said, I'd recommend between 5 and 10. You'd be looking to target high monthly searches, medium and low monthly searches. Note that it'll be easier to rank for low monthly searches as opposed to high monthly searches, simply because more people are trying to rank for those higher monthly searches. But these low monthly search results can also provide a lot of leads to your business. 110 people searching for a landscaping company in Melbourne is quite a bit. If you're number one, you could probably expect about 30 visitors, which would mean maybe 5 to 7 more calls per month for landscaping quotes. Even if you converted 1 or 2 of them, that's still quite a bit more money extra per month, simply because you're ranking higher for one little keyword. So yeah, directly answering your question, I'd recommend 5 to 10, and it should be a range of high monthly search keywords as well as medium to low monthly search keywords. Make sure they're keywords that directly relate to what you do and the things that people would be typing in to find you. Hopefully that answers your question. So there's another one by Mac Black. This is also quite good. I'll just go over it really quick. So the question is, we have an SEO team working on our new website and have overwritten my content. Half of it is not even correct. They've told me to cut down on the information I wanted to put on each page. We wanted to use it as info, education. Should I believe them? See, this is actually a lot of SEO consulting agencies will use what in the industry we call black hat SEO, which is actually against Google terms of service. Not only that, it's actually quite detrimental to your customers. If you're providing incorrect information that's written by someone that doesn't know about your industry, it actually can be very detrimental to your business. Now, cutting down the information per page, look, I've been doing this for quite a while, and the more value you can provide per page, the better off you are. I mean, it makes logical sense for one. What I would be doing is, look, based on what you've told me, I feel like your SEO agency is not really doing a good job of providing you with good information on how you should be ranking your website. I probably want to sit down and have a good chat with them in terms of why they think you should be putting less content on each page. Sure, you should be making your website usable, so you're not overflowing with content and nothing useful there. But at the end of the day, as long as your content is well organized, the amount doesn't really matter. Usually, the more the better. I mean, people want to learn about what you're providing, right? Now, in terms of overriding your content and not even being correct, that's very dangerous. You're basically losing credibility based on that. And yeah, I'd really want to have a sit down with them and really discuss what they're doing. It doesn't really seem like they know what they're doing. Look, if you want to send me an email at martin@quoshift.com, you can take me up on that free website audit, and I can actually go through your website and see what you should be doing. Look, it's not going to be a sales pitch. You can literally take that audit to them and tell them to do it. But I just really want to help you get your website right, because it's your shop front, and you could be losing business if you're not doing it right. Hopefully that answers that question. Now you've got another question, which is actually very good. So the question is, should you spread keywords over your website and say census, or do different? So I'm not quite understanding the last section of your question. But in terms of spreading your keywords over your website, a couple of years ago, it was all about keyword stuffing. You'd put your keywords anywhere possible on your website, so Google would pick it up. Nowadays, Google has picked that up and basically sees it as spam. So what you need to be doing is making it as natural as possible. So I'm not sure what niche you're in specifically, what industry you're in, but make your content almost like a conversation. Now, it would be stupid for me to be like, oh, okay, we do landscaping in Melbourne. Landscaping in Melbourne is a very important industry in Melbourne, and getting your landscaping in Melbourne done by us means you'll have the best landscape in Melbourne possible. Now, that's an example of very bad key stuffing, but you'd want to have specific pages directed at specific keywords. So say if someone's looking for garden design, you should have a specific page for garden design and content on that, specifically on a garden design. Now, on your homepage, you could have a bit of everything, but at the end of the day, you just need to make it natural. Just pretend you're actually not optimizing for Google, especially with your content, and write your content in a natural way, like a human's going to read it. Don't actually write it for Google to pick up keywords. Keywords are just the basis of what you should be thinking of writing your content on, not specifically looking to put those keywords anywhere possible. If a specific page on your website's about garden landscaping, and you feel like you want to stuff in something about pool servicing, just because you do that as well, if it doesn't fit naturally into content, don't put it in. You'll actually Google's algorithms are really quite smart nowadays, and you want to be making sure that you're making it as natural as possible. Google can really detect these things. That's a really good question. Hopefully I answered it. But yeah, like I said, everyone that's attended, you're welcome to have a free website audit done by me. It's not going to be a sales pitch at all. It's actually just specific to your website, helping you know exactly what you should be doing. I know a lot of content on the website's all about, general ideas, do this, do that, do this, and actually can be quite daunting to know exactly what you should be doing. But yeah, just send me an email, and it'll be martin@quoshift.com. I'll just put that up on the page. My email is martin@quoshift.com. So just feel free to send me an email, and I can have a look at your website specifically and tell you things that you should be doing. Yeah, I'm here to help. So literally any questions that you might have, feel free to ask, and I can help you out with that. Let me know if you didn't get that. I'm just going to stop sharing the screen. Let me know if you didn't get it, and I can put it up again. But thank you for the very good questions. They're really good. Absolutely no problem. Definitely be careful with SEO agencies. They spread a lot of information that I personally think is not correct. And you have to be very careful, because getting the wrong people to do your SEO can be very detrimental to your website. Especially, generally you get what you pay for. Sometimes it is the case where you're paying a lot and still not getting what you're paying for. But if it sounds almost too good to be true, it generally is. And honestly, from what you've said, they really don't seem to know what they're doing. So yeah, definitely send me an email. I can go through your website and give you some good information on what you should be doing. And yeah, thank you for your questions. That's really appreciate it. Alrighty, guys. So I might just finish up. There's another question, Mac Black. Can you have more than one website? Now I'm just going to try and interpret what you mean. Can you have more than one website? Absolutely. There's nothing stopping you from making another website which actually has your phone number on it, and oh, another question. That's good, Kenneth. I'll get to it in a second. Can you have a more than one website? Absolutely. Now, the first thing I'd be focusing on is getting your first website right. That's it. That's the most important thing. And then you can move onto other websites that are generating leads for your main website. That's a great way of doing it. But yeah, like I said, make sure your first website is doing well first, and then moving on to more. Like I said, what I can do is I can have a look at your website and actually tell you specifically if another website would actually suit you in your industry as well. Thank you for that question. So Kenneth, thank you for attending. So the question is, I get 3 calls a week from SEOs, all promising the world. How do we sort the wheat from the chaff? This is a difficult question to answer. Look, I myself provide SEO services for clients. You get, I've heard even people I know get a heap of phone calls, spam emails offering $99 guaranteed page 1 rankings. As far as I can see, it's a scam. I've heard countless stories of clients signing up with these SEO firms and simply getting wrong information and damaging their business reputation because of it. Sorting out the wheat from the chaff. The first thing I would do is organize either a phone call with them and asking a whole heap of questions. So you can probably go on Google and find a list of questions to ask SEO agencies. It's a whole heap of questions which basically grills them into answering truthfully, basically. And what you can do actually is you're welcome to send me the answers they give you, and I can sort of provide guidance on whether they're saying what they're saying is right or not. Obviously, it's very subjective, but at the end of the day, there are well-known things that will not help your website, and well-known things that at the end of the day might give you quick page one rankings one week, but then you're banned from Google altogether the next week. You got to be very careful, because as you can imagine, getting your website unranked from Google completely forever can be huge to your business. Now, so how do you sort the wheat from the chaff? Yeah, like I said, you need to be asking them lots of questions. At the end of the day, what I can do, send me an email, Kenneth, and what I can do is I'll do a free website audit for you. I'll give you a whole heap of things that your website needs, and you can basically ask for something similar from another SEO firm and see what they say, see if it sort of matches up. That's probably the best I can do. Otherwise, if you are looking for an SEO, again, you're welcome to contact me. If you're from Melbourne, I believe you're from Melbourne, we can actually meet up for a cup of coffee, and we can go over exactly what you need and what you should be doing. Hopefully that answers your question. It is quite a gray area, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't feel right, yeah, I wouldn't really go for it. So we've got another question from Mac Black. We have had many from Google saying if we pay $499 one-up fee, we'll get on the first page of Google. Is this true? Okay, this is actually a very good question as well. This is very popular. People sending emails, calling, saying, just a one-time payment and we'll get you on the top of Google. Now, what these people are promising is basically a black hat technique. Anybody can get a page onto the front page of Google for most keywords. Now, there's actually two avenues that they could be doing this from. Firstly, they tell you they'll get you a page one ranking, but they'll actually get you a page one ranking on a keyword that actually isn't very hard to rank for, and there's only maybe 2 people per month searching for it. And anybody can do that. You could actually do that yourself. So in a way, if they're doing it that way, what they're saying is true, but it's actually false advertising in the sense that you're not going to actually be getting any more customers from it. They're going to be ranking you for something that people aren't searching for, and anybody can do that. Now, on the other hand, there's techniques where you can build a network of basically spam sites, which spam links to your website, which gets you up in the ranks. And what this basically does, it does get you up in the ranks, but within maybe a month or 2, you'll actually be banned from Google, which means you cannot actually ever rank that site in Google ever again. You'd have to buy a completely new domain name and start from scratch, which is huge. If I were you, I would not be listening to what they're saying. Generally, SEO services are charged on a per month basis, and that's for good reason. It's an ongoing service, and it actually takes time. Generally, page one rankings can be expected maybe 4 to 5 months after signing an SEO agency. Okay, for proper keywords. That's the main thing. So one-time fees it might sound good, but it's actually too good to be true. Hope that answers your question. Okay, so we've got another good question from Kenneth. Why would I use an SEO over contacting, say, Google AdWords directly? That's a very good question. Now, Google AdWords is a very good option if it's done right, just like SEO. Now, Google AdWords, I'm actually running a couple of Google AdWords campaigns for clients currently, and it can be very profitable if done correctly. Now, Google AdWords, as I said before, you are paying per click. Now, you need to be optimizing, testing. It takes quite a bit of work, and you need to have someone that knows what they're doing. Now, Google AdWords campaigns, it's all about return on investment. So say a client is worth $800 to you. If you're spending $100 to get that client, then it's worth it, right? But if you're spending, say, $1,100 to get a $1,000 long-term value client, it's not worth it. You actually be losing money. Now with SEO, I'll go over more pay-per-click in a second. With SEO, you are paying on a monthly basis for an SEO service. But once you're ranking as number one, your return on investment for your monthly fee for your SEO agency is amazing, absolutely amazing. If you're ranking for the right keywords, your SEO agency is good. Your return on investment is better than anything you could be doing with Google AdWords. Now, SEO, like I said, is an ongoing thing. You would be paying that monthly fee, but the return on investment long-term is just a lot better than Google AdWords. Now, Google AdWords can get you results and clients, say from day one, if done correctly, but also, just like SEO, Google AdWords can actually take time to set up. If it was as simple as just putting an ad up and converting clients, then literally everyone would have a massive company by now with thousands of clients. It simply doesn't work that way. You need to be testing and finding a profitable campaign that's providing a decent return on investment. Now, SEO, obviously you are paying for that monthly fee for the SEO agency, but let me think of how to put this. SEO is basically a long-term strategy. Just trying to think of the best way to put this for you, just to make it understandable. Just let me know if that sort of slightly answers it. It's almost like sometimes a screwdriver is good for a job, and other times you need a hammer and a nail. It really depends, and sometimes you should be using both in conjunction. If someone was to ask me, should I be using SEO or AdWords to start off with, I would always say SEO to start off with. But once you have a decent SEO campaign set up, you might then start looking into AdWords. And that's actually what some of my clients are doing. We've set up the SEO for them. They're doing great with SEO. And then we've moved over to AdWords. And that's, we've built a profitable AdWords campaign based off that. I'm hoping that answers your question. These questions are great. These are really good. Very good questions. Like I said, Mac Black, I believe you're from Melbourne. Definitely send me an email and we can actually catch up for a cup of coffee, or even if a phone call, if that suits you better. And yeah, like I said, I'll go through your website and give you some exact tips. I'm here to help, you know, I'm not here to sell you anything. At the end of the day, if you are interested in getting an SEO company, I do take clients from time to time, and you're welcome to have a chat to me about getting me to do your SEO for you. If you are interested in doing Google AdWords, which I would not advise unless you've got a good SEO campaign going, I can also do AdWords campaigns. So there's a question by Kenneth. I currently have a landing page that doesn't seem to be doing doodly. Should I be asking them to pull their finger out? Now, I'm guessing when you say landing page, is that a Google AdWords landing page? So that's a landing page where your ad is pointing to? Or is that a landing page literally for SEO purposes? Just let me know. I imagine this is an AdWords thing. This ultimately comes down to getting someone that knows what they're doing. If AdWords, as with SEO, as with landing pages, is all about testing and optimization. Now, if you have someone doing your landing page in AdWords or SEO that isn't testing, A/B testing, optimization testing, conversion tracking, or similar, unfortunately, they don't know what they're doing. I'm sorry to say that, but honestly, AdWords is all about, as well as SEO, tracking and testing, optimizing, A/B testing, and similar. Yes, you should be asking to do that, but from what I can tell, if they're not already doing it, it's a bit of a sign that they really don't know what they're doing. what I recommend doing is setting up conversion tracking, which you probably already do, but also optimization and A/B tests. You can use something called Instapage or Lead Pages, which can be relatively easy to set up, which lets you easily A/B test different landing pages to make sure you're using the best one possible for your conversions. I'm hoping that answers the question. Yeah, if your landing page is getting targeted viewers but not converting, then you've got a conversion problem, and that's something you should be looking at in terms of optimizing your landing page. Like I said before, you're welcome to email me your landing page, and I can give you some feedback on it. You're welcome to do that. Again, free feedback. I'd be happy to do that for you. Hopefully that helps. I won't mention the company, Kenneth, but I'll look into them and see what they're all about. From what you've told me, it doesn't really seem like they know what they're doing, to be honest. I will have a look into them. Now, I just had a quick look into that. Also looks like they're a bit of a business directory, Kenneth. So generally business directories are good for SEO just to get a couple links. But if you're really looking to get customers on a large scale, I would be looking into SEO or pay-per-click advertising. So I've got a good question by Mac Black. Could you possibly do another seminar on how to show us how to do A/B testing, etc.? Absolutely, I can do that for you. I'll think about setting one up, and I'll email you a link out to it and set up a time for it. As you are local, you're welcome to, like I said before, I keep saying it, email me and I can actually go through specifically for you over the phone if you would like, or over a Skype call or Google Hangout call, or even in person. I can just show you for half an hour exactly what you should be doing. A/B testing is great. I don't know if you've heard much about A/B testing, but it's all about showing 50% of your viewers one page and 50% the other page and seeing which one converts better, right? Generally, the difference between both pages should be a simple title. Actually, I'll show you a quick example. This hopefully is valuable to you, just as a quick example of A/B testing. So one of the tools that is very good is Instapage. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly log in. Now, the webinar page that you signed up for, would have looked like this. Now, this is behind the scenes. You're getting behind the scenes here, guys. As you can see here, if you go up to the top left-hand corner, for this specific page, I haven't set up an A/B test. For another webinar sign-up page, I actually did. You click create an A/B test, and basically what that does is creates two versions of the same page, and you select something to change. So basically with an A/B test, you want to keep the page identical apart from one or two things, generally one. So you're changing one variable and seeing how that one variable affects your conversion rate. For example, I could change the title, or say the button text, or even the button color, or even the background color, that sort of thing. You just test one thing at a time and go from there. A/B tests obviously depend on having enough people visiting your landing page, so you have a good sample group to test from. But it's a great way of learning exactly, how to optimize your landing page for conversions. So that explains a little bit, but yeah, it's very good. I will work on getting an A/B testing seminar / webinar up for you guys. But like I said, yeah, you're welcome to have a one-on-one talk for free. Like literally, I'll sit down with you and explain anything you need to know. Happy to do that. Thank you for the good question. hoping this has proved useful for you. Hopefully you got some little nugget of information. Ultimately, you need to know what you're doing. There's a whole heap of things you can be doing by yourself, as I mentioned throughout the webinar. And if you want to step at that little bit further, take it to the next level, you do need to get someone that knows what they're doing. And the first step of that is probably getting a website audit. Like I said, I'm here to help and answer questions that you might have. I think it's quite sad that a lot of people are sort of trying to exploit all these clients, all these local businesses, into basically scamming them into SEO services that might get quick rankings, but actually might be very detrimental to their business. Obviously, a lot of people depend on their business to sustain their family, to provide for their employees, that sort of thing. And you just need to be getting the right information to make sure you're not doing any harm to your online presence. So yeah, thank you very much for attending. I have put my email up. I'll just put it up again. That is my email address. If you have absolutely any questions, or if you would like to have a phone call or sit down, yeah, definitely contact me. So Kenneth. Thank you, Mac Black. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending. Hope you have a great night. Yeah, it's very hard to know exactly who to believe anymore. I just hope I provided some good information for you. And like I said, I'm here to answer any questions you might have. Obviously, you don't have to believe me, but I am here to hopefully provide a shining light of information. Thanks again. Kenneth, comment is, this is the trouble. They all claim to make $1 million. I've yet to have one deliver. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's a massive problem, and they're really exploiting business owners. It's yeah, it's a major problem, actually. And at the end of the day, it's all about educating yourself. It's difficult to educate yourself when there's lots of false information going around. But yeah, like I said, hopefully I provided some useful information, and I am here to help. So feel free to contact me, and I can give you some more specific advice to you. Thank you. Thanks, Kenneth. Losing my voice. I did another presentation this morning. Thank you again for all the useful questions. That's great to have some input from the viewers. It's great. Thank you for your time, Kenneth, and I hope you had a great time. See you soon. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I will be doing some more webinars into the near future. Hopefully, they'll also provide you with some useful information. Like I said, I'll say one final time: free website audit, free information, free sit-down talk, free coffee. We can have a talk about exactly what you should be doing to get more customers online. I'm here to help, guys, so make sure you email me, martin@quoshift.com. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and I hope you all have a great night.